Hey everyone, Vince here. We're diving into some reward apps today. I hope you all enjoy. So everyone, first up we have Lovely Pet. Now Lovely Pet isn't new by any means, it's been around for actually a few years now, but the thing is I haven't checked it out in a very long time. Let's see how it's going these days. If you have no idea what this application is, as you can see we have a little dog at the bottom of the screen and you can do little activities with him. For instance, pressing the sleep button is going to play an ad, but then you'll see here everyone we have these little love hearts that we can collect. Now each love heart is going to increase your currency by 1. You'll notice that obviously the hearts turn into little coins. A very straightforward concept, but this coin-based currency can also be generated from offer walls and surveys and even games. Now there is a premium gems currency as well, which you can use to actually continue doing activities with your little pet. And you get these by either watching ads or completing tasks and offers. So on the left side of the screen you have your balance, and breaking down the currency conversion, 20,000 of these coins converts into $2 worth of USD, whereas 50,000 is $5, 100,000 is $10, 200,000 is $20, and 250,000 is $25. Pretty much 10,000 of the coins is $1 USD, at least here in Australia. Now this is their playtime reward system. The highest game I have here is Fishdom for around $10 worth of USD. So with their offer wall section, there's actually quite a few to go through. CPX Research is the main survey provider that I like to go through these days, but the thing is the disqualifications are quite high. And on Lovely Pet, the highest amount is around 80 cents or so. A Studio, on the other hand, will give you offers worth hundreds of thousands of these coins. The best rule I like to have is obviously the higher the reward, the more difficult the offer is going to be. You can find my little referral code in the description below, by the way. If you join, you get 1,000 points for free. But you do have to press the enter code button on the main screen. And that's really all there is to it, everyone. So let me just break down how my Lovely Pet test went for 2026. So everyone, I'm very happy to say I withdrew $35 worth of USD currency, and it did arrive to my PayPal account within about 3 days or so. Now to be fair, about 95% of that was literally from referrals over the years, but it was great to see that Lovely Pet still came through for me in my own experience, even now. It is funny to me though, because some of these older apps are no longer even around anymore, or they just don't even respond to withdrawals, which is very frustrating. Anyway, that's my 2026 review on Lovely Pet. Let's move on. As always, everyone, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy my reviews. Your support means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Blackjack Fun. So here's the newest addition to the play-to-earn style of apps, everyone. This time, these developers are focusing on the Blackjack style. This is what it looks like. Top of the screen, we have our coin-based currency, cash-based currency with a 3-hour timer, and the PayPal currency itself. Underneath that, we have our different prize categories. And you notice at the bottom of the screen, we obviously have our playing cards. If anyone out there has ever played Blackjack, you should know how to play this pretty easily. Now, as you're playing, you're gonna get these little pop-ups appear, okay? And the whole concept is that you try and multiply the cash-based currency that you're getting in the game by watching advertisement. Again, I'm sure by now a lot of you guys are veterans with this style of app. But for the sake of the video, let's see what we land on. Here we go, everyone, and it's 2. And then straight after that, you get bombarded with all these other type of mini games and ad prompts. To be fair, everyone, the mini-games are very straightforward, and the actual blackjack element is pretty unique in the sense of I haven't actually played a game like this, I think, in a very long time, but realistically, when it comes down to it, all you care about is how much currency you can actually get, which, let me just break down my test, because that's all there really is to the app. I started my test off with 3 hours on the timer, played for around 32 minutes, and generated 12,324 of the in-game currency. And once that timer ran out, that generated 9 cents worth of USD currency for me in Australia. I am happy to say, everyone, I did withdraw that 9 cents, and yes, it did arrive within about 5 minutes to my PayPal account without any issues whatsoever in my own experience. And even if you get bored of the blackjack element of the game, they have that reward section where you can watch ads on demand, essentially, in return for that in-game currency. But again, everyone, when it really comes down to it, I feel like unless you actually like this style of app, you're probably not going to have too much use for it. But to be fair, that rate wasn't terrible compared to the other play-to-earn style of apps that we've encountered so far this year. Either way, that's my review of Blackjack Fun. Let's move on to the next app. Next up, we have Money Fly. So everyone, this one was actually very disappointing because straight off the bat, I have to try and warn you to not even attempt to go through and use the app because I think it's completely broken. This is what it looks like. You can see here you have all the same elements of like the cash-based currency, a 2-hour timer instead of a 3-hour timer, and the supposed PayPal currency. You have to try and sort through the pizzas. The only issue is, it doesn't actually register your playtime. I started my test off with 2 hours on the timer. I played for an hour and 30 minutes and generated generated 802 of the in-game currency, and then once the timer ran out, the balance was still 0. And then I did that again, everyone. Generated another 698 currency for an hour of playing the game, and as you'll notice, the balance is still 0 right now. So very, very disappointed. Wasted almost 3 hours for nothing. Again, if you actually look at the game itself, it looks pretty decent and like a very fun little casual game, but it's just completely broken for what it promises. Essentially, the whole goal is you literally move the pizzas to the right customers. It does have intrusive ads though every single 30 seconds, alright? So get ready for that. Right now, if you do see money fly, just avoid it. It's completely broken in my country of Australia. Next up, we have Fish Shoot. Again, another little wacky play-to-earn style of application here, everyone. This is what it looks like when you launch it up. Top of the screen, you have your coin-based currency, cash-based currency, as well as a 3-hour timer and supposed PayPal currency. Underneath that, again, you have your different prize categories that you can unlock along the way. And of course, underneath that, you have all your little sea critters and various little mini-game power-ups that you can get by playing. Now, at the bottom of the screen, you have a little auto button, and this is what turns the game into like an idle game. And in my opinion, this is the whole point of the game, of course. In order for you guys to get that cash-based currency, you need to actually watch advertisements. But the fact that they have that little auto button there is actually pretty helpful in case you don't want to play, but still have the app going in the background. So if you don't want to play automatically, you can simply tap on the fish you're trying to capture. Even though you do have some shots at the bottom of the screen, so you don't have unlimited ammo, I find that you never really run out, okay? And then along the way, obviously, as I said, you get the little mini game, all with the same concept of trying to watch ads to multiply the rewards. It also does feature a collection area, again, giving you more of that in-game currency, and it even does have its own aquarium section. So you can see they've actually put a little bit more effort into this style of play-to-earn app compared to the other ones lately. Either way, for today's test, I started off with 200 of the in-game currency with 2 hours and 50 minutes on the timer. I played for over an hour and 50 minutes and generated 10,365 of the in-game currency. And sadly, that only converted into 5 cents worth of USD. Now, in my opinion, that had to do with the fact that it was playing automatically, which means that you have to actually still press the watch ad button a majority of the time. So just be aware, you can't just leave the app running all the time without actually interacting with it, or in my opinion, it won't give you the full amount of the reward. I did cash out that 5 cents worth of USD currency, everyone, and I am happy to say that yes, it did arrive within about 2 minutes in my country, okay? It also does have that reward section available as well in case you don't want to play the game, you just want to watch the ads. All in all though, not a terrible app by any means. I feel like in your country you may have a better experience than I did. You just have to actually interact with the app and watch the ads. But at this point, it raises the question again, just because an app may come through, does that mean it's actually worth the time and effort still? I mean, I feel like unless you're like phone farming or something like that, you may have an interest in these type of apps. But if you're looking for something like a little bit more serious, that is even like $1 per hour, you're nowhere near going to get that, in my opinion, with these play-to-earn apps, at least in 2026 so far. But that's my review on Fish Shoot. Check out my channel for almost 1,000 reviews. Catch you all next time.